she would say more, suck them more, suck so much, make my toe come off. And he would actually suck toes.
Ladies, gentlemen, them, they, and all, it's showtime! Ha-ha! Although when we do say showtime, we do use that term very loosely, as what we've got in store for you today, well, our presenters have really no idea what they're gonna say because they're all unprepared. So strap yourselves in and brace yourself as the Some Nobodies present PowerPoint Showdown. So start that round of applause as we welcome this week's keynote speaker.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another conference. As always, tonight you're going to hear 4 professionals discuss our topic, which happens to be how to spot a scam. Now, with me, as always, we have Dylan. How do you say it if it's italicized? How do you say that?
Well, you did it. I think you did it fine. Emphasize it somehow.
Dylan.
Yeah.
We also have funny name not found. Pretty obvious. He's here always.
Every week.
And this week's special guest speaker, we have Mr. Matt Parker. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you guys tonight?
Well, I'm doing fine. Dylan's probably not that great. I have no idea. He's phlegmy. He'll get phlegmy. Trust me, you'll hear it later when you listen to this back. Matt Parker. So we took a long time to figure out how to find somebody that knows a lot about scams, and your podcast kept showing up for some reason. I'm the only one of us that wanted to listen to it. They actually fought against it on purpose.
Sure.
Now, is your podcast finding scams, about scams, or just overall knowledge on scams?
Well, it really started out as a way to scam people, and then we kind of figured out that we weren't so good at it. So we've button hooked, and we've transitioned into telling you about scams and also learning about scams ourselves in hopes that one day we'll be good enough to actually start scamming people again.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, Dylan and I, we try to fight the current, and we try to put out an anti-scam, like a reverse scam. We just started giving people money, but that really subscriptions went way down. Anyway, for those who are joining us for the first time, each speaker will be given roughly 10 minutes to present our topic of the week, how to spot a scam. After each presentation, there'll be a short Q&A from the panel. And of course, we invite any and all members of the audience to ask literally as many questions as humanly possible. And after the 4th presentation, the panelists will vote on which speaker is awarded the $50,000 scholarship to Some Nobodies. What are you laughing at, Dylan?
Don't worry about it. Keep going.
Did I mess up?
No, you didn't mess up.
Are you phlegmy?
No, I'm not phlegmy. Keep going.
All right. What? I hate you. All right. And obviously, the nostalgia prize. Shit. Got to open this thing. All right, here we go. Right here.
It's funny every time when you can't find the nostalgia.
Well, I found it, but I always forget to open. Oh my god. Oh, I don't think this is from. I think this is okay. So what we have here, we have apparently a Coleman flashlight, which still works, but it is a Marlboro brand. So this probably is supposed to be for Dylan. He's a fan of smoking. He doesn't smoke. He's just a fan of smokers. He thinks they're cool as shit. Now, without any further ado, I'm going to deliver our first presentation. If we can get our producers to rock and roll, let's get this thing going. Now, as always, we want to tell everybody and really get it into your core DNA on how to spot a scam. Now, what I want to do is I want to tell you, obviously I'm a cinephile. I grew up in Blockbuster. I grew up in Hollywood Video. I grew up in the slums of the cinema. And what I want to teach you today is how to scheme like a character in a Guy Ritchie movie. And as we know, they're fast-paced, character-driven, and really just in your face with just hardcore action Guy Ritchie movie. And if you're going to scam, you might as well go at it. So I'm going to teach you guys how to scheme like a character in a Guy Ritchie movie. So let's get on this presentation. Next slide, please. Is it a bean? All right. Now, number 1, you want to adopt an absurd accent. For the rest of the presentation, I will speak with an accent that I think benefits a character from a Guy Ritchie movie. And if my accent slips or I stop doing it, I insist my fellow panel members will harass me until I pick it up again. Now, the thing about great accents is that you want to make sure that this person or people cannot forget about you whatsoever. So you either need an accent a cool food to eat on for no reason whatsoever, or really good-looking muscles. Either way, make sure that you're remembered, which is one of the most important parts of a scam until the scam is finished, and you want to somehow be forgotten. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. 2, find a mark. Now, something cool to take. I always think of things like money, coins, cash, dead presidents, dosh, treasure, loot, deeds, property, literally anything. I will steal anything as long as I think it's cool or I can convince myself that it is cool to take. Now, also, number 2 of part 2. Someone foolish to dupe. A mark, a target, a fool, a rube, a sucker, a sap, a trunk to tap, a person who will fall into a trap. All things that rhyme with app is what you're looking for when coming to finding a mark. So number 1, foolish. This is turning into the ghost. Number 1, foolish to dupe, cool to take. Next slide, please. Accents still gotta hate you. Number 3, put a team together. You want to make a cool ass team because you want to be remembered, find cool stuff, make some friends along the way. Number 1, person of the team, the face. Not me, usually Dylan. Now with a pretty little face which shines like the sun to blind folks to your ambition. That is the face. He is a beautiful little thing. Number 2, the muscle. That's why they call me the avocado. A toughie with a heart of gold, like an avocado, Zack Wiseman. Good fats surrounding a hard pit. Really should have read this one before I called myself that. Now, number 3, the brain. Usually Michael Colby. He has skills and smarts, and it's wrapped around a mix of tasty fillings like a criminal burrito. And that is, he is like a nice, spicy, sweet potato burrito that is full of brains and ideas and nothing else. But this is the friends that I've put together to make sure that I can steal some cool shit from some goddamn rubes. Next slide, please. Number 4, make a clever plot, but never reveal the entire plan. The full list always seems smarter than your friends, because if you say things like, don't worry, I got it covered, they'll think, this guy's covering all his bases. Not true. I just don't know what the fuck to say sometimes. But here are some things that you want to have in a clever plot. Number 1, distract people, including your friends. They don't need to see shit. Number 2, cheat. Literally cheat everyone.
I think the accent's slipping. I'm going to harass Zach to keep the accent going.
Fair enough, my good boy. Once again, cheat, then get them drunk. Anyone will do anything if you force alcohol on them, instead, especially stealing something cool, like this weird ladybug swing set thing that I made my daughter steal the other day. Not really a thing. I just wanted it. And now I have it. So Dylan, if you want to pick this ladybug swing set up, I don't want it anymore. Number 4, sex appeal. Part of the plot, never figured it out. Next slide, please. 4B. This is a long slide. I couldn't figure it all in. Now, there's also elements of a good plot, such as planning, engagement, execution. That's why they call me the execution avocado. Contingency, escape plan, and payout, baby, yeah. Because if there's a baby on board, you got to make sure you pay that baby, because that's a really bad charge if you co-opt a baby into something, I think. But planning is very important. Engagement, only if you're in love, really. That's up to you. Contingency, those are plans and beans. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. The axe. Now, if you suspect you're a target of a crime or a scheme, here's some things that I would like you to remember that you can do. Don't do until I'm done with my scheme, but you can do this afterwards. Number 1, prepare. Call your friends. Except for that one person who betrayed you 7 years ago. Even if they say they forgive you, you know they didn't. They're a schemer too. They're lying to you. And you have cool shit, like a ladybug swing set, they probably want to steal. You can also count stuff. Identify potential targets. If you think it's you, you better run. If you got cool shit, you're going to get scammed. Trust me. And if you know me, or if you like avocados, I'm coming for your cool shit. You can also be proactive. Heist rely on... The accent is just taxing. Heists rely on reactive marks, then beat them to a punch by shooting first and asking questions later. Like my favorite Star Wars character, Greedo, once said, shoot first, figure it out later in the remake. Next slide, please. And in conclusion, there are a lot of things when it comes to looking out for schemes, crimes, swindles, and anything else that comes with me stealing your cool shit. Number one, expectations. You better expect I'm coming for it. I'm coming for your cool shit. I'm probably going to make a band of just unsavory fellows, and we're coming for it. Also, reality. It's our favorite thing to watch while we're getting ready for a crime. It really pumps us up and says, we got to get as rich as these people because they're literally doing nothing. So once again, if you see a team coming and you might have some cool shit and there's possibly a baby on board and Michael Colby's not there, it's probably a goddamn scheme. And watch out for that because that is a scam. So thank you very much, everybody. And I'm going to probably stop this accent now. And I'm sorry that it came off like that. I was thinking of like a weird Cockney one, but I'm like, there's no way I can keep that going. Either way, I'll take any and all questions that revolve around scheming like a Guy Ritchie movie. Thank you very much for listening. Oh, funny name not found. Please entice me with a riveting question.
I had a question. It was more about the accents than the presentation.
It was one perfect accent, not accents, but okay.
Before you fell into a Jack Billings Presents Haunted Apartment Complex character accent, I was wondering if you could list off the accents that brought you over to that. It seemed to be 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah. Well, I started with a South African. Didn't work out very well. Then I went to a New Zealand. Didn't like that one. Then I went over to Australian. Couldn't work that properly. Then I went to some kind of English or like Harry Potter style. Did not like that whatsoever. The one I can really do is like some kind of southern trash hole or a screaming ghost. So yeah, that's it. New Zealand. Oh, Dylan, question. Great. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. I was wondering if you could comment on the connection between Guy Ritchie movie schemes and tacos?
Great question.
That is a great question. And I'm glad you saw that. I was trying to hide this in there to really put that scheme on when you thought of tacos later. Once again, when it comes to being remembered, the thing you want to have is a cohesive team, a cohesive storyline. Now, yeah, you can do things and have a character eat a sausage. You can do things and have characters drinking lattes or cool little foamy beverages. But if you put a taco in a movie and that taco is part of a team, it's just going to work out right. Yes, Dylan.
Just a follow-up. Would you say that the taco is your calling card so when you leave it, the victim has something to talk about?
The taco is a calling card. When I do steal cool stuff after making up a good scheme, I do leave random tacos. I do fold them out of paper so they look like origami, but they are designed to be a taco. And it really stems back from a one failed pursuit earlier. But yeah, good note. Was I supposed to know that? Yeah, Matt Parker.
I just had a quick, actually, great questions, guys. I had some of the same questions. I'd written them down because that they were very indicative of how this PowerPoint went. So what is your favorite type of distraction to get the rubes into the scam in the beginning?
So what I like to do is I like to, obviously, well beforehand, catch a lot of butterflies. What I find is a lot of people are on to the random newer scams these days. But whenever you see a butterfly flying around, you just got to kind of look at it. And if there's a bunch of butterflies, you're like, there's something over there.
Don't worry
What
about
is happening? What is happening down there?
It's classic misdirection scam right there.
Oh, shit. What did he steal? Where's my flashlight?
Don't worry
that
about
was nice.
it.
Good job. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for a question. Any more questions about my presentation? How to scam, how to find a scheme, how to leave tacos, how to steal babies. That's it. Excellent. Thank you very much. There's going to be a lot of things you're going to learn today. And what I wanted to make sure is that schemes come from all angles, and they're going to look like beautiful, well-paced, choreographed movies. You're probably going to hear some stupid shit coming up later, but trust me, Guy Ritchie does it. Thank you very much. So listen, we have some adieus. We don't care about them. Up next is Mr. Matt Parker. Matt Parker. Let's see what.
All right, thank you guys.
See what he presented for today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Finally,
Producers.
somebody knows what they're talking
Ready
about.
whenever we get it queued up.
Yep, we're having.
No, you're good.
technical-
Hey, you know what? It's every one of these conferences is different, but they're all the same.
A lot of different conferences, a lot of the same conferences. Usually they're different though. So let's see what we got here. For some reason this is taking just an extra second, but here we go.
Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk to you about scams. Our only scams to the mentally weak. You feel me? You feel me? So let's move on. Next slide, please. So, years of research has gone into this. The easiest scams, in my opinion, for you to fall for. And if I can prove it, you're going to owe me. Okay, so does anybody in the audience have a deck of cards? Just a regular one, 52. No? Oh, one person? No, he brought maybe.
Go on without me.
Okay, no, okay, nobody brought cards with them. That's fine. So let me just tell you guys a little bit about the scam because I happen to have a brand new deck of cards with me right here. They're off camera, but they are here. I can assure you that they're here. So now let's learn about some card tricks. Next slide, please. It's easy, step by step. Let me tell you, this is look at my eyes the whole time. All right. Uncomfortable eye contact is the first key to card tricks because if people are comfortable, then they won't be staring deeply into your soulful eyes. They will be looking at the cards, and that's where the tricks are usually occurring. Not all tricks are the same, but the eyes are the window to the soul. So commit a breaking and entering, some sort of act of breaking and entry. It can be of the soul. It can be of their car by your partner while they're engaged in this trick with you. That's the thing about scams, you guys. You got to understand when you're scamming and when you're trying to stop people from scamming, you have to be creative because everybody's seen all the scams. So you have to variate your own scams. And you variate, which is definitely a word, by shuffling the cards and making sure they see how you shuffle. While they're still looking in your eyes, they're also looking. Once you get one eye up and one eye down, now we're scamming, ladies and gentlemen. So, thirdly, show them their card, but don't let me see it. Because if I show them to them, but then I also see it, really, the mojo's broken at that point. It's too complicated at that point. So then, to show off my dope skills that I have at shuffling, I shuffle again. See, so the second shuffle is a lot like the first shuffle, but then it also happens after. So that's how you know it's the second shuffle, because the first one is the one you do in the beginning. All right. So then I try to make a dumb mistake. I try to flip the cards, 52 card pickup. It's a classic game. Does anybody want to play around with that? Oh no, you don't. You don't have time because now you forgot which card you had. And that's when the scam really takes effect. Now, step 6, and most importantly, you have to look in your back pocket. If you don't look in your back pocket, you'll never know what card is in it. Don't look too fast, though. Now, you tell me, is there a card in your back pocket?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I have an 8 of spades.
Exactly.
I have a Magic the Gathering land card.
It's a land card. I knew it. See.
I have a tarot card.
Perfect. The walking man. Because you'll be walking home because we just stole your car. Now that's a classic card scam. Next slide, please. All right. Money mules. Now listen, not everybody is a seasoned Ocean's 11 level scammer. So sometimes you have to start somewhere. And where you start, in my experience anyway, has been the entry level money mule conundrum. Next slide, please. So here we go, step by step. One thing I do love, and I'm kind of a perfectionist about scamming, is I like to break it down for the people. So I find that step 1 is always find 3 dummies. Are you 3 available? Gotcha. See how I got you there? I made you guys feel like the dummies, but you're not the dummies because you're all intelligent. So let's continue with the scam. Step 2, let's go through their trash. Now listen, 2 hours of trash work. Yeah, you're going to know the details. You're going to know their favorite magazines, their favorite snacks, their favorite things that they had to discard for various reasons. It's all part of the scam, people. It's all part of the steps. Step 3 is find out how they smell and what bank they use. Again, great way, trash can, right back to the trash. If you really are diligent with your trash work and you give it a good focus, because practice makes perfect when it comes to trash work. So the reason that you need to find out what they smell like and also which bank they use is very important. Okay. So then step 4, you come up with a decent lie. Now, usually, in my experience, you get better, it's a little more effective when you lie for health, about health, either good or bad. You can say, hey, I'm perfectly healthy, and then drop dead of a heart attack. Great scam. Or you talk about love. We all need it. Every Guy Ritchie movie has had lots of love in it and lots of scams in it. So step 5, you need the money. So write a bad check to pay back. You write them a bad check. You say, hey, you know what? You put this check in the bank in 6 business days, money will be there. And then, so that buys you 6 days to scam even more money off of them. Then on the 6th day, you call and say, hey, you know what? Just bring me that check back. I'll just give you cash. And then you make sure that you're not wherever you tell them to show up at. Okay? So then after you've done this, after you've executed this multiple times, it builds and builds and builds. Step 6, watch the money pile up. Now, it may not pile up right around you, but it will pile up somewhere. You just have to figure out where the money's piling, and then you're in. So next slide, please. Okay, now we have the next scam. All right, here we go. We need to take a quick survey. Who here would like to spend or win $5,000 by only spending $3? Show of hands, please. 2 people. That's pretty good. So if each of the 3 of you're included, funny name not found. Sorry, that's just how it works. This is life. Sometimes you choose. Sometimes you're the egg. Sometimes you're the chicken. That's just how it goes. So if the 3 of you each give me $3, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you guys get everyone watching to also donate $3, right? And then we only get about 3,000 other people just to give us $3 more each, right? We can easily just award one of the 4 of us the $3,000 that's left over. See, then everyone will think I'm the best and you guys are cheap and almost winners. Does that make any sense at all? It should. By this point in this presentation, you should definitely have understood every word of that. So if you're not, just go on to the next slide. Let's move on. Wow. I'm going to leave that there for a second. Wow. Okay, here's a story about the most elaborate scam that I have ever invented. And the title of this story / scam is The Tattooed Penguin That Needs Another Receipt. All right, so listen. This is going to get deep real quick, boys. First of all, you have to go to the North Pole or your local zoo. It depends on if your local zoo has decent security or not, and that's really up to you. So you go, you find a penguin, preferably of the emperor variety. They have a more imposing presence in the scam. It really takes a lot of penguin presence to pull this one off. Okay? So after you do that, you tattoo various icicles all over his body so he thinks he's still in the North Pole or wherever your penguin may live, because I feel like not all penguins probably live at the North Pole. I'm not sure about that. I'll fix that for next time. But after you tattoo them, lots of badass skulls and icicles, classic penguin tattoo from head to toe. You send them into your local superstore, Costco, Sam's Club, JD Byrider, wherever you got, and you just get them in there, teach them, just have them near where the receipts, where they can scan your receipts and they check and make sure you got. He goes in, slips it right in between the 2 other receipt checkers, and then all of a sudden he keeps getting receipts, baby. And then what you do is you get those receipts, you get the penguin out, after he gets off work, you take him out for a nice meal because he's done a good job today. Get the receipts, then go the next day back to, your Costco or, whatever it is, Aldi, whatever you're into, whatever's closest to you, because this is a scam of convenience, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the most important thing. You get them back, and then you go to return the items. And when they go to return, you say, hey, you know what? I lost them. I dropped them on the way out, obviously, yesterday, and I couldn't be bothered to come back till today. Money in the bank. Next slide, please. So, in conclusion, what you need to understand is if there's a kid with wacky ass teeth near you, you're going to need a very elaborate hat, because those teeth are going to get a lot of attention, and you have to go one above that with your gigantic stogie cigarette, reading a paper from 1918, and wearing a very, very, very elaborate hat. Thank you very much, everyone. Feel free to ask any questions you may have.
Wow. Perfect.
So, Yosemite scam. Feel free to go for it. I think you raised your hand first.
I did. Thank you for noticing that. I will say that was one of the most riveting presentations we've ever had on this show about scams. I'm on the edge of my seat.
All of your cars are now gone. So don't just Uber home, kids. Uber home.
Perfect.
Or don't. I don't know. I don't know who did it. That's part of the scam.
I did have a question. I was wondering if you've ever pulled off this penguin and the missing receipt scam. Have you ever done the scam yourself?
I was able to successfully complete it in 1983. I wrote my thesis about it for Scam U. And since then, it's really gotten a lot harder because, the global warming and security at zoos has really been up a lot recently. So sometimes you have to substitute, and you can't always use a penguin.
Oh, okay.
But again, scamming is resourceful. So if you can find almost any type of animal, preferably a cold weather animal, but almost any type of animal, you can pull some variation of the scam.
Now,
in my experience.
Now, sir, that there are no penguins on the North Pole, documented since 1982. Sure. Is this in itself a scam?
I think you're onto something there, and I'm going to be honest with you. I think you're not seeing the secondary scam, because the fact that you think there are no penguins on the North Pole tells me somebody's already been scammed in this room. Damn. And it ain't me.
That's a fine scam.
Yes, Dylan, how can I help you? Dylon.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. Early on, you said that one of the key things to do in a scam, as the victim, I suppose, is to meet your eyes, uncomfortable eye contact.
Absolutely. But
you kept looking away at things, and I was trying to follow it. And
sure.
Do you have any advice for people at home who may be trying to do that online?
Sure. Well,
space restrictions.
Sure. Yeah. The scamming in the e-commerce and e-universe has definitely added something to it. So if you can help it, I recommend fake eyes, classic eyeballs in the glasses trick, which I unfortunately got scammed out of on the way to the presentation this evening, or I would have been able to have them dead set on the whole time. Like Viper snake. Yep, perfect. See, look at that. Now you can move your head around a little bit. See, look, can't help it. You've maintained eye contact with me.
Oh, yeah.
Perfectly. Cool. See, this man is an advanced scammer. I feel like you need to go to the Scamming 102, which hopefully is going to come up later this evening.
I took some eyelashes. That's okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Great question. Funny name not found. Any questions from you, sir?
Yeah. Ma'am. You said that one of the important things to scam people is to find out how they smell. Now, yes. The way I find out how people smell seems to be very intrusive, and they know what I'm doing right away. Mm-hmm. So could you please explain to us how we can be a little bit more subtle in our ways of finding out how people smell?
Sure. So over the years, years of experience here, what I generally do is I drape myself in some sort of fabric, and I pretend to be a bench. And I notice oftentimes you get, you catch more flies with honey. And so when you're just an inconspicuous bench in someone's house or near their trash cans, because I'm already doing the work, then they'll just come sit, you get a good whiff, put it in the memory brains, because the sense of smell lasts longer than that's like the number one scent that there is smell or something. So once you do that, the scam begins again.
So I shouldn't have learned how to get people scent from dogs, is what you're saying.
No, that's, that totally works. To each their own. I'm not here to tell you how to scam or to smell. So if it's been working great for you, just keep doing it. Otherwise, maybe try the bench maneuver.
It hasn't been working great for me.
Okay, then I'm going to recommend.
People don't like to have a stranger come up to them in public and sniff their butts.
No, dogs especially don't like that. I have noticed that.
Yeah.
So yes, Dylan. Next question.
I'm just curious if you have any insight regarding Michael's previous question about the appearing bench, if that has anything to do with conservative pundit Bench Apiro.
Surprisingly, it does have a little bit to do with him. Yes. Because I once heard him talk and said, you know what? I would rather pretend that I'm a bench for the next 48 hours than have to continue to hear this. So that actually, he kind of, I hate to tell him, and I don't want to make his head any larger than it already is, but he kind of did inspire the bench maneuver.
Okay.
And for that, I don't want to say that I owe him, but we'll just call it even.
Excellent. Thank you.
So no problem. Any other questions?
Great job, Mr. Matt Parker.
Glad I can help out boys and girls.
Before we get to any more ados, aka Dylan's stupid questions, we have his presentation up.
Well, okay. Hi, everybody. Of course, my name is Dylan. Put some emphasis on the name. And I'm going to speak on how to spot a scam. Now, you can see that the words are emphasized. They're all in capitals there. And I wanted to make sure that you know what I'm trying to do here today. Now, these things you need to know about most scams. They will be in a confusing pyramid of information. A lot of scams are presented in a pyramid form. It's an ancient, very solid foundation for how to really get in someone's mind. Now, to prove this isn't a scam, I'm going to do this presentation in random order. We're going to see how that goes in just a second. Obviously, I have the shuffle mode on for this slideshow. We'll see what happens. So we're going to begin here with slide number 6. Now, you can see here presented in a half pyramid shape so that you know that this presentation itself is not a full scam. You have the foundation. Your foundation of any scam is going to be fools. You need your target. Like just kind of any easy people at the beginning. You're going to have mostly fools that you're targeting. Then the needy. They're desperate. They're going to trust you if you offer them any amount of help, and then that's how you get your Trojan horse through the door. Then we're talking about mules. Mules are just people who just do work. They don't put a whole lot of thought into it, Then friends, obviously you target your friends eventually because they trust you already, and you can cut out that initial trust gain section. The unfortunate thing about friends is that as you implement scams on your friends, the pool of your targets is going to lessen. So be very, very decisive about who you target with that. And then, of course, the $, or as I like to call them, the smarts. They have a lot of money, but there aren't very many of them, and they tend to be pretty well protected. So you have to try your really best, and that's the really high effort, high reward section. Now let's go to whatever slide is next. I don't know, but it's probably not the next one.
You said start with
next slide,
6?
please. Oh, sure.
Right?
I thought I had shuffle on. Instead, we are just doing a kind of random thing. So I think we're on. What are we on? We're on slide 5 now. Slide 6. Here we are.
Okay.
This is a distribution graph of age and sex structured by core-based statistical areas of the CBSA status. Now, this, of course, is the difference between 2000 and 2010. The shaded areas are going to be the Boston, Cambridge, Quincy, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire metro area. And then the white lines are going to be the San Antonio, New Braunfels, Texas metro area. We're just looking at a demographic right now. I know I said fools are going to be your biggest one. We're kind of cross-referencing right now. The difficulty in this presentation format is that three-dimensional models aren't so easy. So if you could imagine this overlaid on the previous pyramid, half pyramid rather, I misspoke, you would see that kind of if we were in the metaverse, it would be so much easier. But you can see here, this is a demographic of people that you're going to eventually target. A lot of them, they wiggle. People wiggle. Demographics wiggle. Pretty much any of these people are going to be fair game for your schemes. I chose Boston, Cambridge, and San Antonio, New Braunfels because they were the cheapest data sets I could obtain on my budget. Let's go to the next slide, which looks like slide 3. I think the producers probably led to this. I was going to do just random, but I suppose this works as well. Now we're looking at successful mid schemes, and that's a mid with an apostrophe, which could be pyramid, but because I'm not scheming you, it's not a pyramid. You can see it actually has a ribbon, so it's more like a cone, which is not a pyramid. Pyramids have corners. Anyway, so successful mid schemes. We got some pyramid schemes here. Of course, the baseline total average, really unexceptional one is Jack Billings. It has 1.1 billion listens. You can't front on that, but let's be real. Widespread appeal, lowest common denominator. You're going to get a lot of people, and really it's just it's like eating M&Ms. It's not great for you, but it'll do in a pinch. Next up, we're doing Dylan-style numbers on Avon. Now, Dylan style numbers mean a lot of them, but not as much as the ones below them. Pretty simple. Yeah, pretty simple. I don't know that I need to say much more about Dylan style numbers, but it has $5.7 billion in numbers. Now, that's a pretty high number, at least compared to Jack Billings. And of course, I organized this ribbon cone upside down where the numbers get bigger as you go towards the narrow end because, I don't know, it's my presentation. If you wanted to do something different, then you could do it your way. Speaking of ways, we're looking at Amway. That's $8.8 billion. They're doing it. And then at the top, Lululemon, they sell yoga pants, they sell underwear, they sell sports bras, they sell very, very gaudy patterned, like active fitwear for people. That one, of course, you have to recruit your friends, sell to your friends. You have a Lululemon party where all your friends come over and they buy overpriced, low-quality clothing from you. And you really, really wear away at that friendship we were talking about. So the top of your pyramid starts to bow inward, just like you bow inward when you wear Lululemon. You can find my account at, no, I don't work for Lululemon, but they made $40.1 billion at some point. I don't have time intervals on here. But at least over some span of time, over the course of the entirety of existence so far, they've made $40.1 billion. That's shooting for the stars. Now, of course, if you want to contribute to Dylan style numbers, you can send any payments via Cash App at Dylan Will Do Ya. That is similar to X Gon Give It To You, but sung to the tune of End of the World as We Know It by REM. Let's go to the next slide, please, which is number 5.
Oh.
I don't know why it's not so hard to use the drop-down tab. I'm having a lot of trouble finding the right slide here, but sorry, I'm getting phlegmy. Now, 3 out of every 4 people are scamming you right now. I'm going to let you decide which 3, because it's not my job to... Wait, no, it is. It is my job to teach you how to spot a scam. Hold on. So, 3 people here who are probably trying to scam you. Michael hasn't gone yet. He's building up. He's waiting in the wings like that bear in A Winter's Tale where it comes out pursued by bear, exit stage left. You know Shakespeare. Everybody here knows Shakespeare. The greatest scam artist of all time because he didn't exist. It was written by a whole bunch of different people instead of one individual person. Michael's what we call a flam scammer. He's a 2-stroke style of scam. We call them chumps. In and out, quick, done, gets out. Doesn't have a whole lot of appeal to it. Generally one and done because you see him show up next time and you're like, not worth my emotional investment for your physical release. Zack is what we call a jam scammer. Now there's only one man style of scam. Zack was trying to figure out a way to get a whole bunch of am rhymes in there. But he's a jam scammer. That's it. He sticks to you, and eventually you just pay him to go away. And then he shows up again. You're like, come on, I didn't even have jam. And then, of course, Matt is a clam scammer, saltiest style of scam because he gets mad. He gets mad and he gets mean and he gets very targeted. And I don't know him very well, but he said some very personal things to me that made me just like want his approval. So I threw money at him on Venmo. Now, it's really affecting my Dylan style numbers. So you can send any payments via GPay at Slob Dylan. Slob stands for Scam Likely OB. I didn't have anything else to go with. Let's go to the next slide, which is number 4. Okay, we were here earlier, which I messed up. Now, this is proof that this is not an Audible scam. Audible, the platform for like audiobooks, I'm not affiliated with them, but if you send your payments via Zelle to Terry Roth, WROTH, at somenobodies.com, that's really going to help me pay for my Audible subscription. Yeah. But on the base level, like we're doing pyramid shit today. I'm sorry, I just have to come clean here. Pyramid. It's all points. I'm trying to make points here. Pyramids have 3 points. Get it through your heads. I'm a teacher, not a scammer. I'm trying to tell you how to spot a scam. It's like a cop. I can't lie about that. You know, I have integrity, like cops. We all love cops here. I know Funny Name Not Found is a huge proponent of the police force in America. I'm sure he'll talk all about it in his own presentation. Blue Lives Matter flags all over his studio. Anyway, on the 3rd level up, we have, this is pretty valuable information. I'm not asking you to sell anything or do anything. I'm not asking you to. I'm suggesting that you send any payments to any of the links I've sent. Those are donations. Donations are okay. We're going up a level. You can send what you want. Send anything you want. I'll take anything. Any amount of money. Any amount. Hold on. My Cash App is at. We can put it on screen, maybe. Probably not. It's probably not a good idea. I share a lot of personal information on this platform.
It's probably on one of these slides, actually.
It's probably on one of these slides. But if you want to send me any money on Venmo, you can send it. It's an auto-generated one.
Probably one of these slides too.
At Dylan-Terry-29. That's one of my Venmos. Send me any amount of money you want. There are 3 of you watching right now. I'm talking directly to you.
I'm not
send me money. Wait, it's us. It's the 3 people on. Okay, right. I forgot. That's how we do this. Anyway, at the top, what have I asked you for? Honestly, I'm asking you to send me fucking money. Just send me cash. It's like, oh shit. I don't know what else to say. Let's go to slide 7. God.
Slide 7.
I mean, you can also spend. Don't spend money. Spend money on me. That's what I want. These are my favorite movies about pyramids. I'm taking a break here teaching you all about scams so I can talk about pyramids because it's been on my mind. That one X-Men with Poe Dameron. Dameron. That's not the name. I think if I was a real Star Wars fan, I would actually know how to spell the character's name. But it be at best fashion for the mids. Let me tell you. X-Men Apocalypse is something else. Next up, we got The Mummy 1 and 3 tied. I think 3 is the one with the snowmen in China. Yeah. Fat or thin, give me some Brendan Fraser. That dude needs my respect. Whatever. God. Listen, I'm really poor. Money's been on my mind. You can send any payments to @StraightChillingDylan on Wise. Next up, Gods of Egypt. I have a very fun story about seeing Gods of Egypt in the theater, but I'm running low on time, so I'm not going to go into it. But it's best when you are not in a sober state of mind. The pyramids are small. It has a great cast. Unfortunately, they're all white except for like 3 of them. And they're playing like Egyptian gods, which feels a little like even for 2016, you should have known better. And then Apocalypto, a little bloody, good pyramid. Blood runs down the pyramid. I like it. It's a square pyramid, which is interesting. You don't see that very often. Let's go to the next slide, which is slide number 2. Nope. I think this is it. Yeah, okay. How one might scam. You can send me any payments via Cash App at Vorpal_words. You can also find me on Instagram at Vorpal_words. Follow me there so I can have a following, so I can start selling some of the stuff I write, because a lot of publishers won't let you actually publish with them unless you can prove that you have an internet following. It's unfortunate. But we're talking about pyramids. This is how one might scam people. In the bottom, emotional manipulation. I've been begging you, and I mean, none of you have stopped watching, so something is working. Then you can make people pressure your family. Listen, you send me cash. I guess you can talk to your family and have them send me cash too. That would be great. If one person watching sent me $1 million, I'd be set. It's just that easy. We go to step 2. Find people to find other people's money. I know you can train magpies to like bring you shiny things they find on the ground. And every once in a while, they bring you money. That's kind of neat. They're not people, but if you find a guy who trains magpies, you might be able to pressure him into doing it. And then number 1, find a fake service or need for bored people. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm leaving that to you. And then because I gave you the idea to have an idea to make a business, you should pay me all of the money you make from it. At Vorpal_words on Cash App. Let's go to the Magic 8-Ball slide number 8. Is this 8? No. There it is. In conclusion, I mean, listen, you're scheming from both ends in this deal. It takes balls to run a scheme, but you got to chase those balls to get your scheme running. Sometimes you're the lion. Sometimes you're the... Is that another lion? I think that's the back half of a lion. Looks like a lion tail. Yeah, okay, those are 2 lions. Yeah, I can tell from the map. When you zoom really close in, it looks like a map of the, Anyway, yeah, so you got to have balls to do scams. You got to have balls to fall for scams. And I know all of you have balls to fall for my scams. So please send any payments via Facebook Pays to @Andrew to my friends. Oh, I don't think Zach knows about that part of my life. That's interesting. Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, send me money at any of the addresses I told you. Follow me on any of the addresses I told you. Please. keep watching these shows. We're back to 3 viewers. It's great. I love all of you. That is the end of my presentation. I have clearly appealed to your emotions, which is the first step of that fucking pyramid, which is X-Men Apocalypse. So, you know, it's crazy. Poe Dameron is saying you need to follow me on Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah, sure. All right, cool. Let's hear from...
I didn't know we were done. Sometimes you take very dramatic
we're
pauses.
I think we're done. I think I ran through all 8 slides.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
A couple times.
Let's hear questions from Matt Parker to start.
Yeah, I just need to know what Lululemon offerings do you currently have, and I prefer them in either a size extra small or 8 extra large short.
Okay. In those sizes, I have brown marble, which is a really unfortunate pattern. That's why it's the only one I have available in that size.
I'll take it.
Oh. Okay. They do.
It's hard to find extra smalls.
They come in 32 packs. I do have to charge you for every pack.
Sure.
Or for every part of the pack. Okay, cool.
You don't make $40.1 billion not shooting for the stars.
Excellent. Yeah. You can send that via Cash App at Dylan Will Do Ya.
Done and done.
Yeah. Yosemite scam. Yosemite scam. Yes.
Finally, somebody pronounced it correctly.
Of course.
On the very last slide, you said you were looking at something which I think you said was a topographical map. What would make you think this is a topographical map here?
When you zoom in really close and look, it resembles a topographical map of the desert.
Because those are balls.
Yes.
You're looking at balls.
Yeah, I know. But when you zoom in really close, I was like, oh, maybe that's a map.
Oh, but they're balls.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that it?
I don't have any questions.
No, I mean, like, is that it for Zach's question?
Yeah, I was gonna follow up. I was gonna follow up to Michael's question, but I don't think he has any. So
I don't.
I actually have another question.
Oh,
okay,
good.
Matt, Mr. Parker.
So just in your experience, I know you went through this. Can we go back to the one where we talk about 3 of the 4 people scamming? I think that's what this is in reference to.
Yes.
Right. So, given the choice, do you feel like most people do a clam jam flam scam or a flam scam with the clam jam?
I think it's primarily the flam jam with the clam scam. I will say that when pulled off successfully, it does make me say, wham, bam, thank you. May I have another scam?
Oh,
wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, for the answer.
You're witnessing the birth of the wham, bam, thank you scam.
Sure. Tarkov Rat has a question.
Of course. Let's hear it. Or read it, I suppose, because it's in the chat.
They didn't send it. They just
said you are welcome to ask the question whenever you want.
To let you know they have a question.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, my neighbor Michael would like to know, with 8 billion people on Earth, once per person is still a lot of scamming.
Well, pyramids represent exponential growth. I recruit 3 people. Everybody under me recruits 3 people. It doesn't take very long to get the entirety of the globe united under a single purpose, which is, of course, blowing up the moon. I don't think I need to elaborate further on that. Tarkov Rat, you have a question.
They won't ask the question.
Is that Jar Jar Binks in a Fortnite skin? Doesn't it look kind of like Jar Jar Binks' nose poking out of that hood?
No, I think that's a Solid Snake as Assassin's Creed.
Oh.
My neighbor Michael. Any question? Is he killing himself?
I was thinking about it.
Oh. The fake funeral scam is well respected.
All right.
I think.
Wait, sorry. We do have a question from Tarkov Rat. What did you search up on Google to find that picture of a lion cub? Topographical maps of the desert.
No, lion balls.
Yeah, his history is real cool to read. Mm-hmm. It's one of our shows. Well, anyway, thank you very much, Dylan, for all of your time and expertise. And Fun and Name Not Found is not being paid attention to enough. He's throwing a little hissy fit like a GD child. So can we please have his presentation set up? Ugh. And just end the stream.
Okay. Now, I was told that we were going to have a presentation on how to spot scams. And so far, I've only heard scammers talking about their scams. So this presentation is actually going to be about our topic tonight. Whether my slides cooperate with me or not, this is going to be about how to spot a scam and how to not be scammed. So here's 3 tricky schemes and scams and how to spot them and not how to do them, because that's not what this is about tonight. So if I could please get my next slide. Now, we're going to define a scheme. Scheme is a tricksy thing. Sometimes people will pull on other people so that they can take all of their things and objects, like money, houses, and stuff. So far, everyone has wanted to do that. They want your stuff. I want to show you how to not let them get that stuff, because these people are monsters. Everybody you've heard talk so far tonight is a terrible person that you should not be listening to for any reason ever. They just want your stuff. Now, please don't fall for it. So if anybody seems like they're trying to take your stuff, your objects, your money, your houses, just don't let them do it. God, it's easy. Next slide, please. Now, when does scheming take place mostly? For some reason, most schemes take place on October 2nd, and nobody knows why. It seems that the scammers have all gotten together and said, October 2nd is the day where we're going to take people's things, houses, money, cars, and stuff. So watch out. I suggest that on October 2nd, you just don't leave the house. You don't answer the phone. You don't even go on your social medias. Just sit at home and read a friggin' book. Maybe learn something, and then you'll know when people are trying to scam you. Seriously, stop giving people your money. Next slide, please. Now, what kinds of schemers are there, and how do they work? Now, so far, we've seen one of each of these types of scammers tonight, just on their own. Now, you have the empathy scammers. Those are your Zack Wisemans. They want people to feel sorry for them because of how sad and pathetic they are. Just looking at them makes you go, oh my God, I have to do something for this person, or they're not going to have anything. They don't have anything. They can't get anything on their own. I need to give it to them. And that's what they want you to think. I mean, it's true, but don't fall for it. Now, you have your Matt Parkers, your respect scammers. These people, they act like they're friendly, but in reality, they're just yelling. They're just yelling to try to make you think that they deserve respect, when really they don't. They're just, it's all just a ruse. They're trying to make themselves feel important so that you think that they're important. But they're not. They're nobodies. And then you have communication scammers. These are your Dylans. These are the people who just talk. They just talk and talk and talk. And they use words and falsehoods and terrible music puns and terrible movie puns. They throw you off with their horrible, horrible puns. And then when you leave, they just take your stuff. Don't let them. Listen to the words, but don't let them make you so angry that you leave a stream or a conversation or anything. That's what they want. So I'm glad that these 3 have been trying to scam you tonight, because now you know exactly what they're doing. Next slide, please. Now, here's the one or most popular scheme. Now, I'm going to explain this scheme and how it works. And I'll explain what it is that you have to lose if you fall for it. Now, this is going to be a Zack Wiseman scam. You're going to be at the urinal, and you're going to be doing your business at the urinal, and somebody's going to come up to you. They're going to go to the urinal directly next to you. No matter how many urinals are open, this urinal is going to be, and he's going to pull his pants down all the way. He's going to open up his pants, open up his belt. He's going to pull his pants all the way down to the floor. And he's going to say, I have to do it this way because it won't go past my zipper. I'm going to wet my pants if I don't pull these down all the way. I need money for penis enlargement surgery, and it's not cosmetic. It's because my penis is so small that if I don't get enlargement, I'm not going to be able to properly use the bathroom. And he's going to tell you that this is a very cheap surgery. He's going to say, all I need is like 30 or 40 bucks. And then you're going to give him 30 or 40 bucks, and he's going to take it, and he's not going to do anything about his tiny penis. He never has. So why would he start now? Next slide, please. Now, here's the two most popular scheme. And this is a Dylan scheme. I don't know why I went out of order for these, but this is a Dylan scheme. You're going to be at the office. This one's simple, like a Sunday morning. Somebody's going to go to the office on a Sunday because we need to do this because capitalism is a trap and it's a terrible thing. And in order to survive in this capitalist hellscape that we work on, you're going to have to work on a Sunday morning. So your favorite coworker is going to come up to you, and they're going to look at you. They're going to put their feet up on your knees, and then you're going to be uncomfortable. He's going to stare right at you, and as he's staring at you, he has someone with him, and they're going to take all of your stuff and your money and your house right from you while he's staring at you and making you uncomfortable. It's harder than you would think to spot, because sometimes you think that your favorite coworker is just trying to be friendly, even though he's just got his feet up on you and he's staring at you and he's not saying anything. That's just what he normally does. But this particular time, he's got somebody with him taking your stuff. Next slide, please. Now, the threatened popular scheme is a total Matt Parker. You can't get away from this. They're going to make a friend or a few friends at a place of choosing. Not their choosing and not your choosing, but somebody's going to choose it. Then they're going to take friends to a second location without their friends. So the person at the second location is not going to have any friends. And they're going to say, hey, let's make some friends. And then there's going to be people there, and you may as well make friends with them. Next, everything is actually very expensive. So where you are, everything that they have is expensive. So finally, there's an awkward situation because you've been working Sundays, but you still can't afford this expensive stuff. And these people that show up that are going to be your new friends are going to say, look, I'm going to pay for your stuff. And then they're going to pay for your stuff. But really, they're just going to send you out with the goods. And then they're not going to pay, but they're going to call the tip line so that they get the reward for capturing the people who have been stealing stuff from this high-end store. And the cops love to arrest people who are stealing from high-end stores because their job is to protect the property of the rich. So they're going to do it, and then they're going to give the Matt Parkers of the world. It's a very simple. Just stay home, read a book, stop going out. All you're going to do is get scammed. All of these people here are scammers. All they want is your money. Next slide, please. Now, in conclusion, please do not fall for these scams, because if you do, then my job gets harder. And I will have to do this again at next year's convention, and I would really rather not do that, because it takes a lot of work to put these presentations together. I had to do research on all of these scammers that were going to be here. I had to find out. I had to scam people to get information on the scammers who were going to be at the conference on how not to. It took me the entire year to come up with this presentation, and I was only able to tell you about 3 scammers. Now, this is terrible. They're small timers too. They're not even big time scammers. But this is how a big time scammer starts. So I'm trying to nip it in the bud. So please just stop. If somebody is asking you for money, if it sounds like, oh, I just need money and then I'll pay you back as soon as I can with interest, they're not going to fucking do that. So stop it. It's the oldest scam in the book. It's been happening since money was invented. So just stop. Don't give anybody your money. Keep it. Work on the Sundays and buy yourself a sundae. Buy yourself some ice cream instead of giving it to these fucking idiots who aren't going to give you anything back. And that's all I have to say. I don't want these 3 to applaud me. Stop. I know. No. I know that you guys don't mean it. I'm trying to help the people. Now, are there any questions specifically from the people watching? Because I would rather not answer the questions of these scammers. I will if I have to, but... All right. Dylan.
Thank you for the presentation. I have to say you're on... No?
No.
You're on a pretty high horse for someone who was indicted last year.
Piece of shit.
For your for your company, Too Good to Be True Lululemon's pyramid scheme. Can you comment on that?
This is my community service. I didn't want to talk about it.
Same response every single time.
I didn't want to talk about it, but this is real. Like, you can't deny that the things I said were real. Just because I have to do it, just because it's court ordered, just because I have to do it, doesn't mean that it's not real. Everything I told you was real. These are things you have to look out for. And the fact that I was court ordered to make this presentation doesn't change anything. Zach, Yosemite scam.
Now, would you like to comment, please, on last year's conference when you said that if I didn't send you a crisp $2 bill once a week, your next year's conference was going to be mostly about how small my penis is and how good it tastes?
Well,
is that not true, my friend?
Well, it
Sounds
is.
like you got scammed.
Sounds like somebody's getting scammed here.
You only sent me those $2 bills for half the year.
Yeah.
So I didn't talk at all about how good it tasted, only how small it was.
We also have a question from Tarkov Rat in the audience, and he would like to know, he broke the bro code, section 14, paragraph 7, don't pee next to someone at the urinal?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think that's a question.
Classic,
because it's
classic
just
Michael Colby scamming everybody. Says he'll answer questions, will not answer questions unless given money.
That was not a question. It was just you're not supposed to go right up next to somebody at the next urinal unless you absolutely have to.
You heard my inflection go up at the end of that. That makes
Can
it.
we
Yes.
allow other questions from the panel, please?
Yes, Matt Parker.
Yeah, I was just curious. What exactly is Bro Code Section 14, Paragraph 9? We're all aware of 7, but you seem to be very well informed about the Bro Code. So any help you can give would be appreciated.
I mean, Section 14 is all public bathroom related. Paragraph 9 is don't talk to someone who's in the stall next to you, no matter what. There are signals, as everyone knows. If you need toilet paper, you put the hand underneath. If you would like a blowjob, you put the foot underneath. And if you think that someone's poop smells extra good, you do this
Flippy flaps.
underneath the finger wiggles.
Inverted
And if
octopus,
you're
yeah.
offering somebody a snack, you just put the snack underneath.
Okay.
But you don't say any words.
Sure. Okay, quick follow-up question. What's the
Yes.
least amount of money you're willing to loan me until next week?
The least amount of money I'm
The least
willing
amount.
to loan you.
Yes.
I'm going to need money from you. The least amount that I'm willing to loan you is negative amount when you give me money.
Okay,
That
I'll get
I
it to you
need
next
until
week then.
next week.
I will
Yes.
make sure you get it by next week.
Excellent. Yosemite scam.
Now it seems that the majority of your conference tonight was really just calling us out for being scammers instead of actually
Yes.
letting people know how to see a scam, how to spot a scam. You didn't do any of that. And I'm going to give you the opportunity now. As we all know, the most scammed day is October 2nd. So what would you do on October 1st to make sure that people are not scammed by banks and whatever you were talking about?
Well, find your neighborhood scammer. It's fairly easy. I was able to find information on all three of you. Also, banks, like you said, the biggest scammers of them all. And now you're going to have to look up, use a VPN while you're doing this, but you're going to have to look up the Anarchist Cookbook. They have good recipes on there for Molotov cocktails and napalm. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make napalm Molotovs and burn down the establishments, the banks, the police departments, and just the houses of your neighborhood scammers. So on October 1st, do that. Usually from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. on the 2nd. And if you get everything burned down, you can just sit at your house and read your books, and the scammers aren't going to be able to get a hold of you. And they're also going to be too busy rebuilding their mansions and their establishments and their ugly buildings that are clogging up our neighborhoods.
Now, quick follow-up question, if I may. As you're walking around with your Molotov cocktails, attempting and threatening to burn down buildings and people's homes, if those people or buildings were to offer you money to not burn their homes or businesses down, would you take that money?
Absolutely not. I've gone through actual rehabilitation for my scamming ways. And I no longer think that doing anything for a bribe or for any amount of cash is acceptable. I'm gonna say whatever it takes, destroy the establishment and let's do it. And there's nothing you can do to stop us. There's too many of us.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting, considering that you threw a hissy fit saying that you were going to trash this presentation if we didn't pay you properly for it. But yeah, all right, I guess we'll have to take you at your word, Mr. Funny Name Not Found. Excellent. Listen, everyone, it seems like this has concluded our presentation from all of our professionals about how to possibly spot a scam, how to do scams, how to scam a scammer, and how to give Dylan some spam. Now, each member of the panel is going to have to indicate to me which they think who deserves to win the $50,000 grant awarded by Some Nobodies Patreon account, and the Collector's Nostalgia Prize, which is Dylan's Marlboro themed Coleman flashlight. Now, which member which panel member, please choose a presentation when I count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Holy goodness gracious.
Voting for himself, piece of garbage.
Well, it seems
I was
like
the
Matt
only
Parker...
one who did anything about how to spot a scammer.
No,
you know
didn't.
that it's a very amorphous topic for the week.
All that you said was these 3 are scammers.
Right.
Watch out for them.
Yes,
Here's
watch
how
out for them.
Not a great way
how
to get
spot
us in
a
your
scam.
corner.
That's not a spot
Here's
scam.
how to spot the scams.
No, you said Zack Wiseman will come to you with his beautiful and tasty little tiny penis next to you at a
Penis
urinal.
scam.
That's not spotting a scam.
And
you're like,
that's
oh,
the scam
Dylan,
that he runs.
That's not spotting a scam.
Here's how to spot it.
That's just explaining what a scam is. Which
Stop
is
trying to
exactly
scam me.
I'm not scamming you. Stop asking for money. Anyway,
We're gonna have to share a dorm.
Listen, people. It seems like funny name not found has won this conference because he's the only one with balls enough to vote for himself. So
the presentation had literal balls on it,
and that was
so I voted for it.
That was a topographical map. You know that.
All right,
all about the
I
balls,
need
not so much
on
the
my
painting.
presentation.
No, mute him. All right, now listen. Funny
shirt.
name
He's
not
calling his
found.
bluff.
Because you're the winner. What's going to be the topic of next week's conference?
How many human bodies can you put in that weird offset room in your basement before the smell is enough to alert your neighbors to something funky going on?
Huh. Had a head start.
And if you would like to have any bodies put in your basement or taken out for a very low price, Michael Colby will do that for you. Okay, now listen, my name has been Zack Wiseman, and for my payments for doing this, I get to make someone give us an outgoing slogan. So, Matt Parker, what's our outgoing slogan?
If you're not slamming, you're not scamming.
God damn it. If you're not slamming, you're not scamming. Thank you very much. Matt Parker, where can people hear your beautiful voice or hear about your friends?
Yeah, you can hear my velour pipes at blcpodcast.com or on your favorite podcast apps. We also have all the socials and Instas and Instagrams and scams and all that. So blcpodcast.com or in your ears any time of day or night.
Excellent. Funny name not found. Where can people go if they want to be put to sleep?
Well, you can listen to my ASMR podcast, Sleep the Night Away. It's on Jack Billings Presents. Just look up Jack Billings Presents on any podcatcher that you're looking for, and you can either listen to me do ASMR, or you can listen to our funny scripted comedy, weird, absurdist podcasts. And if you go to patreon.com/Jack Billings, we just added a $1 a month option, and every level of our Patreon gets you access to all of our bonus content. So what the hell? Even if you don't like Jack Billings, what's $1 a month? Just like give me $1 a month. It's not a scam. I'm asking nicely.
Everyone, just give Mark Colby $1 a month. God damn it, he's got stuff. If you find his ASMR channel, make sure you look out for the sleep apnea episode because that one is riveting. Dylan Terry, where can people find you if they want to?
So you can find all of my written stuff, most of my written stuff. You look up Some Nobodies. We got Silicon Angels. We got podcast, and podcast show. A lot of this is improv, but there's some writing in there. CYOP Appeal, first season of the Create Your Own Pod Venture is out there. Second season is finishing the writing process right now. You can find me on Cash App at $ Dylan A. Terry, on Venmo at Dylan-A-Terry-29. It was auto-generated. Don't ask me about it. And of course, Vorpal_words on any social media.
The testicles are extra. They're just for looks. And damn, do they look good. I'm not going to lie. I wish all shoes, all footwear had testicles. But really, Crocs are the only ones Thank you for watching PowerPoint Showdown. Today's winner will receive a $50,000 grant courtesy of Some Nobodies Patreon. Congratulations on your win! Join us next week for another showdown.